Greetings, Earthlings. Silent Signs here to report from space, as usual, to bring you an early access peek at this upcoming extraterrestrial title. Mars First Logistics is a physics-based building sim where you create and operate Mars rovers to transport goods and explore the surface of the planet. Despite being in early access, this title still has a fairly robust helping of content that should give you countless hours of fun with just a sprinkle of frustration. To control your rover, you can either utilize your keyboard and mouse or a controller. I opted for controller as that is where I'm more comfortable, but both options appear to be well mapped and functional. On controller, your rover moves forward with the right bumper and in reverse with the left. Some of the more simplistic driving mechanics I've encountered: your base model rover doesn't do anything but drive, a bit of a snooze at first, but you quickly earn parts, currency, and blueprints to expand upon the utility of that basic build and create some truly inventive vehicles. The gameplay reads a bit like an open world parcel delivery title with a healthy dose of Lego game for good measure. You'll receive a task to retrieve an item and deliver it to another destination on the map, but in order to do so, you'll have to modify your rover to accommodate for the large, awkward, or otherwise unwieldy cargo. This requires a fair bit of trial and error in and of itself, but then you add the Martian landscape into the equation and it becomes even more of a challenge. Each successful delivery will grant you more quests, expanding the map, as well as more money and parts to build even more outlandish creations. The building mechanic is more complex than the driving mechanic and feels like a Lego building simulation game. You can work off of one of the existing blueprints, adding, painting, copying, and removing parts, or you can create and save your own designs for future use. There is a bit of a learning curve to this control scheme, but a handy reference at the bottom of the screen always helps to remind you of which buttons to use when. Once you've added all of your cranes, levers, and other simple machines, you'll be able to toggle through all of the rover's movable parts to pick up all manners of cargo with ease. Well, maybe not with ease, with some degree of struggle and while holding your breath in the hopes of making it to your destination without dropping into a nearby crater or flipping your rover. Kind of the same thing. The good news is if you do happen to flip your rover, and you will, trust me, you will, there is a quick reset that won't take you too far off course. I did notice that for whatever reason, the reset always put my rover backwards, even when I was facing the proper direction before disaster struck. I can't quite tell if this was intentional or if it is something that a simple patch might be able to fix, but either way, it was far from a deal breaker. You will very quickly understand that a fair majority of the challenge in Mars First Logistics stems from the physics. Whether it's the treacherous terrain or the gravity of the tasks at hand, sorry, I had to. Cumbersome cargo can really make you rack your brain for just the right combination of parts, which adds a good ratio of puzzle solving and creativity to the mix. The other things you'll notice about Mars First Logistics as you boot it up are the thumping bass line of the soundtrack and the unique high contrast effect of the graphics. The music is killer throughout, and I found myself unconsciously head bobbing whenever a new track came on. I did find, though, that the high caliber of the soundtrack made me miss the music even more in the awkward moments of silence I would experience periodically. Don't leave me hanging without a track to vibe with, game. I was just getting in the groove. Then there's those graphics. A fantastic cell shading cartoon-esque effect packs a whole lot of punch and definitely proves the less is more minimalist graphics can sometimes reign supreme. Sparse details with a limited color palette works wonders to make this title a joy to look at. There is a surprising amount of variety and diversity to the landscapes, and a day and night cycle helps with that as well. Mars First Logistics isn't something I would have naturally gravitated towards, but it's fun and a creative challenge that I quickly became addicted to. With the promise of even more content and another year of feedback to make the title even better, I think Mars First Logistics might shape up to be something out of this world.